shunga chuji anji podrana tuksen sanji kanji ngonyet rasma shurga muzma stunza par sawe lama namla sorate kirba sanji chua shigdanye nyamba drupa shumla tanda sanjine manere dambe jansu tsen loto jamsu shabla sorate lame josme jamsu doje dam shurga kara pama shumla ji shenru zunga kyawe nyuku ye tanda drupa tanjina drupara ho ranjin lame trambe kajela kosme charo shidro la zohe rale jana nipre tujoni tuyo irmi jivare shinji lo. Everybody give rise to bodhicitta to benefit countless suffering sentient beings. May all beings be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. May they have happiness and all the causes of happiness. May they never be separated from the great happiness, devoid of suffering. And may they forever dwell in the great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. To sacred bodhicitta, the precious and excellent mind, where it is not, may it arise. Where it is, may it never decline, consistently growing, rising higher and higher. We carry on with these most incredible teachings of Togbe Zampo, the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. And last week, suddenly the beard has grown a lot bigger in just a week. Last week we spoke about a spiritual teacher. It was verse 6. And now we're going to talk about verse 7. And I'm not too sure if last time I actually read verse 6. So I want to read verse 6 and I'm going to read verse 7. So, verse 6 reads, "The practice of all bodhisattvas is to cherish spiritual friends by regarding them as even more precious than one's own body, since they are the ones who will help us to rid us of all our faults and make our virtues grow ever greater, just like the waxing moon." And then verse 7, "The practice of all the bodhisattvas is to take refuge in the three jewels, since they will never fail to provide protection for all who call upon them, for whom are the ordinary gods of this world ever capable of helping, as long as they themselves are trapped within saṃsāra's vicious cycle." And so, actually, verse 6 carries on into verse number 7, so they are related. And now we talk about taking refuge. In this verse we take refuge, and it's in the three jewels. So what are we taking refuge in? We're taking refuge in our true nature of mind, in the inherent nature, in our Buddha nature. Now every one of us has this Buddha nature. Call it Buddha nature, different concepts to explain the same thing. It's important that this is what we want to realize, not that we just know all of the concepts and all the different names. So this nature, which is inherently pure, and it doesn't have a sell-by date either. It's not like you go to the shops and check it. Oh, this is a bit temporary. Maybe it's going to last for a year. It's been pure since beginningless time. For lifetimes and lifetimes, countless lifetimes, it's been pure. We just haven't really realized this because we have been lost in our afflictive emotions, in our distracted mind, in our discriminating mind. So just like the clouds, maybe if you've ever been to Chengdu, or you go to some places, or maybe some places in Germany in November, and it's just clouds. You don't see the blue sky. And you start to think that the clouds are the sky. But they're not. Behind the clouds is the sky, and the clouds don't affect the sky. And then one day the sky clears and you see, oh, actually the clouds aren't the sky. The sky is blue. And this is like our true nature of mind. It's like our afflictions. We have all of these afflictions, all of these random thoughts, all of these arising thoughts, discriminating thoughts, delusory thoughts, and we think this is reality. And then one day we see the true nature of mind, or we realize the true nature of mind, we realize, wow, all of these afflictions and random thoughts, they're just like the clouds. They appear in the sky, they appear in our mind, but they're not the true nature of mind. The clouds are not the sky. They don't affect the sky. The sky always stays pure. The same, our true nature of mind always stays pure, irrespective of how many afflictions there are. So it's like washing dishes. Why do we wash dishes? How is it that we can wash dishes? Because the food left on the dishes, or the dirt left on the dishes, aren't part of the dishes. If they were part of the dishes, part of the nature of the dishes, we wouldn't be able to clean away the dirt or the food. But because it's not part of the dish, you clean away the food and you see the dish again. It's the same principle. We can clean away these negative stains, these afflictive emotions. We can clear away these discriminating thoughts. We can liberate them. We can transform them. And we see the true nature of mind. Just like we wipe away the dirt or the food off the plate, we can see, oh, there's the plate. So this is what the plate really looks like. We take refuge in the true nature of this world, the true laws of impermanence, of cause and effect, and of wisdom emptiness. The reality, the nature of things is illusory, just like a dream. Fundamentally, all of these practices, what are they going to do? They're going to help us, or they're going to counteract, or they're going to work against, or they're going to reduce this ego, this self-grasping of ours. It's not going to increase our fame, our fortune, our reputation, that more people can like us. Not these worldly concerns, all right? What it is to transcend these worldly concerns. This is very important, that we face the truth. And this needs courage to do it. It needs perseverance. We have to have determination. That we find this wealth, but not a material wealth. This wealth within ourselves. Every one of us has this incredible wealth within ourselves. We don't actually need a lot materially. And if we have, and we realize this wealth within ourselves, whenever we go, we'll be happy. We'll appreciate. We'll have gratitude. So it's to find the wealth within ourselves. Many people are very unhappy. Why are they unhappy? They're chasing many material concerns. And what they've got, they don't want. They're dissatisfied. And what they don't have, they want. Again, dissatisfied. They have, they're dissatisfied. They don't have, they're dissatisfied. So this is the biggest problem. One of the biggest problems is that our mind becomes very, very distracted, or is easily distracted. Our mind thinks, let's go have some coffee, and off we go, and we might buy some coffee. The mind says, oh, I have to say this to this person, and off we go. We go listen to these thoughts. We get very distracted. So mindfulness and awareness is very important. So we start with two quotes from Patrul Rinpoche's instructions to himself. And it says as well, there's three things to remain attentive to. The Buddha, your Guru, and your mindfulness and awareness. And in the other it says, three things to maintain grateful remembrance of is the precepts and the vows, the Dharma that shows the path, and those that bestow the precepts and the vows to us. So in those two sentences, already we see mindfulness and awareness, so important. How do we combat a distracted mind with mindfulness and awareness? So mindfulness and awareness is very important to practice. And then he talks about the Buddha, the Dharma, and our teacher. So this is what we take refuge in, and how to realize what I said before, how to realize the true nature of mind. We take refuge in the three jewels, in the Buddha. So why in the Buddha? Because Buddha just really realized the true nature of mind, and then he shared it with everybody. So because Buddha realized it, we know it's possible for us to realize it as well, as long as we follow his teachings, which is the Dharma. So the Buddha was a normal person who was a prince, and he never left the palace. Why did he never leave the palace? It's because there was a clairvoyant that told the king, his father, that one day your son is going to leave the palace and he won't become the future king. And the king was very worried about this. So he made everything in the palace really perfect. No old people, saw no dying people, no sick people. He didn't see anybody giving birth. But, being a young person, as most of us are, whatever our parents say, maybe we must go and do something else and find out for ourselves. So he decided to go out of the palace one day. And he went out of the palace with one of his helpers. And when he was there, he came across this person that was sick. And he asked his helper. And it's the same for the others. He came across a person that was dying. And he came across a person that was had old age. And he saw birth. And he saw, wow, he saw this great suffering. And he asked his servant, he'd never seen this before, his helper, what is this? What's going on with these people? And his helper explained, well, this happens to everybody. Everybody at some stage, well, they have to be born. One day they're going to die. And they're going to get sick sometime. And they're going to get old. Hopefully they get the opportunity to become old. So Buddha went back to the palace, and then he left the palace, just as the clairvoyant predicted. And he started practicing, and he practiced for 7 years. Very, very methodically, very austerely, benefiting sentient beings. I mean, not learning about the mind, really practicing. And then he realized the true nature of mind. He realized Buddha nature. And why was he doing it? He wasn't doing it for his own personal gain. He's doing it because he saw the suffering of sentient beings. And he thought, how do I help these sentient beings? What can I do? So this is why we take refuge in the Buddha. And we take refuge in the Dharma. The Dharma are the teachings. These are the teachings of Buddha. How to realize the same state of mind that he realized. And every one of us has this true nature of mind, this Buddha nature that he realized. We just have to wash away those stains, those afflictive emotions and discriminatory thoughts. So this is the path. So it's very important that we listen, that we take refuge in the path, which is the Dharma, the teachings. And then the Sangha. So who the Sangha? There's two types of Sangha. There's the Sangha, which is the enlightened teachers, or the enlightened masters, or enlightened realizers. And then there's the rest of us who are aspiring and practicing towards this. So we take refuge in the enlightened ones, not in the other Sangha. The other Sangha support us. They help us in our practice. And we encourage each other. But this is also where a lot of emotions and afflictive emotions still exist. So sometimes there's problems between people. Sometimes a little bit of jealousy, or a little bit of competition or anger that happens. So we take refuge in our enlightened teacher. And who is this? This is our Guru. So important. We spoke last week about the Guru. How important he is, especially if you're practicing the great perfection. In other Buddhist schools, they might not place so much emphasis, but if you're practicing the great perfection, your teacher is of utmost importance. So, is following the spiritual teacher. Why also? Because the teacher gives us the teachings. Teaches us about cause and effect. Teaches us about impermanence. Teaches us about wisdom, emptiness, and how the instructions to realize this. And then we go and practice. So this is great kindness. Because of their great kindness and our practice, their teachings, slowly we transform our mind, gradually. And we can attain enlightenment through these teachings. So, also, if you want to speak to Buddha, how are you going to do it? When Buddha was around, we didn't attain enlightenment. When Buddha was around, either we didn't meet Buddha, so we didn't have the opportunity to attain enlightenment, we didn't have the merit, or we knew Buddha, we met Buddha, but we didn't practice, we didn't attain enlightenment. So we're still in the situation today that we're revolving around in saṃsāra. So we can't get hold of Buddha. So we need our teacher. Our teacher is the connection. Our teacher is the connection to the Dharma. In fact, our teacher is the manifestation of the Dharma, of the Dhammakaya, the Sambhagakaya, and the Nimanakaya. So that our teacher is pure. It's for us to realize that the teacher is pure. So we take refuge in the Guru, which, as we said, is so, so important. We can phone him, we can talk to him, we can get the teachings from him, we can be inspired by him. So we practice, just like we go to a doctor. We go to a doctor, we take medicine. First the doctor sees what's wrong, gives us some medicine, and then we take this medicine, and we're the patient. So the same. And sometimes we may have a serious illness, so the teacher doesn't give us the immediate antidote. He says first you need to prepare your health and improve your health. So he gives you a general medicine, and then afterwards, once you've taken the general medicine and you have better health, then he gives you the specific medicine, and then it'll really work. If you take the specific medicine before you've reached to a certain stage of health, maybe the medicine's not going to work. So the same. The Guru is like the doctor. He sees our problems, prescribes the medicine, which is the Dharma, the pith instructions he gives us. And we're the patient. We take the medicine. And if you take the medicine according to the way the doctor prescribes, there's a good chance it's going to help us. So if you listen and practice the Dharma according to what the teacher says, how to practice and what to do, then we've got more opportunity to transform quicker, to attain enlightenment quicker. And sometimes they'll give us general teachings. You practice this first, and once you've got a good foundation, then we start to teach you the more specific teachings, just like you have a general medicine and then a more specific medicine. And we take refuge also in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. They're representations of enlightenment, the path to enlightenment, and the manifestation of enlightenment. So that's why we don't take refuge in our mother or our father. There's two people that are of great merit to us. Our parents, and this is of worldly merit. Because of them we have life. They really do so much for us, but their wish for us generally is material, that we'll be materially happy. And our teacher, who wishes us to be enlightened, never mind us, all sentient beings. How many people wish that for us? Okay? That's why we don't take refuge in worldly gods. You can respect them, but don't take refuge in them. So as it says in the verse here as well. Why? Because they're still in saṃsāra. If they're still in saṃsāra, how are they going to guide you outside of saṃsāra? And we need to practice. So what do? We take refuge in the teacher. But it's a little bit difficult for us, especially in today, especially in the West. We're taught to question things. And because our perception is not pure. We have all of these ideas, all of these perceptions. We think things should be like this. So because of this, it's difficult for us to see the purity of our teacher. So it's us that we have to change our perceptions. It's us that we have to practice to go beyond this conceptual mind. The teacher doesn't need it. We need it. The practice the teacher doesn't need, we need. So sometimes because of our perceptions, it's difficult. We see wrong in the teacher. We see this teacher looks just like me, a human being. What do you mean they're perfect? What are we seeing? We're looking according to our perceptions. We can't see how they're helping other beings. Because our mind is limited, not their mind. So we only see things according to our own limitations. And because we're taught to question things, so we doubt. Nothing wrong with doubt. Doubt is good. Ask questions. Be sure about things. But don't just ask and then don't find the answer. Because then it just stays as doubt and you don't really know. If you have doubt, go find the answer. If somebody says, over there is this most fantastic shopping mall. So, oh, very nice. But if you don't go and see the shopping mall yourself, you don't really know. But you go there. You go there a few times. Yeah, really. There's a shopping mall over there. And then if anybody says there's no shopping mall there, I know there's a shopping mall there. You don't doubt it. You're certain. Or the other way around. You go there, there's no shopping mall. Somebody says, go to the shopping mall. You've been there a few times. There's no shopping mall. You don't doubt. There's no shopping mall. Why should I go there? So, we work at purifying our perceptions. Once we see the Guru in perfection, it's very much easier for us to see the perfection of other things. But we also need the practices, the methods, and then to practice. Very important. So the teacher teaches us about, he's the outer Guru. Through the outer Guru, because we're so used to projecting out, looking out, we need the outer Guru to realize our own true nature of mind. So from the outer Guru, we get to know the inner Guru. Through the inner Guru, we get to know the secret Guru. So the outer Guru is our teacher and the embodiment of the teachings. It's not the picture, okay? We use the picture to inspire us, but the Guru is not the picture. It's all of those qualities of Buddha. Loving kindness and compassion and wisdom. And then, through the outer, we get to know the Guru, we get to know our inner Guru. This mind, the inner Guru is this mind of ours. This mind of ours that sees the outer Guru. And in reality, they're not separate. Because when we look at something, if we look at the Guru, it happens at the same time, isn't it? It's not like at one stage he has the Guru, at one stage he has the mind. When the Guru is in our mind, it's at the same time. And then we get to know our inner Guru. Which is the inner Guru? Is this mind of ours. But this mind of ours that is free of these attachments, these afflictions. And as they arise, that liberates them. And has this loving kindness, this compassion, and this wisdom. So we get to realize these first through the help of the outer Guru. So it's very important that we have a lot of faith in our teacher as well. The teachers have incredible ways to help us. Their teachings, and in special cases, they do things that sometimes we don't understand. Like look at Milarepa and Mapa. How did Milarepa attain enlightenment? What hardships did he go through? Normal people would think, wow, look how Mapa treated him. How cruel, how terrible. But actually, Mapa saw his potential and treated him in the right way for him to realize and become such a great realizer. And Milarepa only had the greatest of respect and gratitude towards Mapa. So sometimes we don't understand. Sometimes they use very extreme methods. Like you hear of us teaching, some teachers, a stranger walks in, or a student that they haven't seen the teacher for a long time, and the teacher just starts to shout at them. And if you don't understand the purpose of the teacher to help us to realize our true nature of mind, you come in there. I've never met this teacher before, even a student that has met the teacher, has supported the teacher. He comes in and the teacher shouts at him. He thinks, I did everything good. I helped the teacher. I did so many things for the teacher. And they treat me like this. They shout at me like this. Is this love and kindness? Never coming back here again. This teacher is this and this teacher is that. And so they leave. They don't come back again. Very upset. They have all sorts of conflicts in their mind. How come the teacher teaches me like this? I've done nothing wrong. But if you realize that the teacher is helping to shatter these concepts of yours, that this is actually a teaching, and as that happens, straight away what do? You abide. You realize you abide in the true nature of mind. Then it's very different. Oh, thank you very much. The teacher's really benefiting me. So it's very important to know the intent of the teacher. It's like once with Lama Achok Rinpoche. Somebody had this beautiful big mandala that they wanted to bring to an offering. And as they got there, he started shouting. He said, what are you doing? Why are you bringing me these things? I don't want your things. I want your renunciation. And in a very strong voice. And this person was like this. I was like this. After a few minutes, he was joking with the person and talking, but really, well, wow, mind, that shock, that amazement. The mind was clear for half an hour, an hour. It was like bang. If you didn't see the teaching, you would really misunderstand this. But wow, how incredible. The methods of the teacher. He wasn't even talking to me. So sometimes the teacher's giving one person the teaching, but a person with a different mental attitude receives the teaching. Okay, so anyway, these teachers are really, it's very important that you have belief and have respect for your teachers. If something happens and you find another teacher, don't go and slander your past teacher. Be grateful that you've got your new teacher. But also remember the gratitude of the other teachers. Maybe it's a very good chance if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have found your current teacher. So because of them, you've come along the path and now you've found the enlightened teacher. You don't have to follow them, but don't slander them. For what? Who does it benefit? It doesn't benefit you or anybody. As they say, I think it says in the book of precious wisdom, it says, if you even just rub a drop of oil into one pore of your teacher, it's a greater offering than making an offering to 1,000 Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You often hear of people talking about how great the merit is and how great it is to bring your teacher to mind. To again and again bring your teacher to mind. Lama Achuk Rinpoche's recommendation is minimum 25 times a day. If you can, 100 more times. Pray to your teacher. Bring your teacher back to mind. Back to your true nature of mind. Pray again and again. Lama Cheno, Lama Cheno. What are we saying? Hear my call. Lama Cheno. Bring me back. May help me realize my true nature of mind. It is the same as you hear in Kaju. Kamapa Cheno, Kamapa Cheno. Who is Kamapa Cheno? Yes, there's the outer realized Kamapas. But also Kamapa Cheno is reminding us, abide in Rigpa, abide in your true nature of mind. Remind yourself again by practicing when you're walking. Visualize your teacher on your right shoulder, circumambulating him. Or when you're sitting down, he's above your head. And same, circumambulating him. Remember your teacher again and again when you're eating, that he's in your throat and you're making offerings to him. Before you go to sleep, let him descend into the heart, to your heart center. When you wake up, let him ascend again. Again and again, bring your teacher to mind. And if you don't have a root teacher at the moment, it's also okay. Eventually, one day, you'll get the opportunity to keep on practicing. Make the Dharma your teacher for the time being, until you have that merit that you meet and that you can follow your root teacher. So your teacher is the form, is the realization of the Dhammakaya, the Sambhagakaya, and the Nimanakaya. Of course, be very aware. Take great care in choosing your teacher. And this as well, saying this, it's also important to commit to practice. There's going to be hardships. But keep on going. It's very important. Liberation comes through this practice, through the blessings of our teacher. And of course, our hard practice. And what we're talking about here is theory, like pointing at the moon. Our finger points at the moon, but is nowhere close to the moon. But through pointing at the moon, we get a direction. Oh, there's the moon. We get an idea. The same with the teachings. They give us the idea. But we only really know the state of mind through tasting ourselves, through our own realization. Just like pointing at the moon doesn't mean that we've been to the moon or we know the moon. So it's very important that we realize these practices. It's very important that it becomes, that we know it through our own realization. So let's end the teaching over there. Let's dedicate these merits. First, we dedicate to our precious teachers. To them, because of them, we can transform our minds. Sentient beings may be free from suffering. So in the greatest of gratitude to all perfect teachers, to Gyaltsen Nyugu Rinpoche, to Achuk Lama, and that by this merit all beings may attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies of wrongdoing in the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness and death, that all beings may be liberated from the suffering of the ocean of saṃsāra.